just turned red.
Better than mine. Mine shows 3 bars until like 20 seconds before it dies.
No, yeah. I checked it earlier. I'm like, oh, okay, good. No.
Look at mine next to yours and make sure it's 3 bars.
Which one's yours?
Right there.
Yeah, you're good.
Morning.
How you doing? Is everybody ready?
Sir.
All right. Well, this is a press conference I really would rather not do, but I'm keeping up with what we always do at the sheriff's office here. We are an open book, clear glass of water, however you want to look at it. On August the 23rd of this year, a fire was deliberately set at 160 Ridgeville Church Road in Inman. at approximately 4 a.m. There were 4 people inside the residence asleep. An intensive investigation was done by New Prospect Fire Department and the Boiling Springs Fire Department, and Chief Caruso immediately figured out that this was an arson. We have a team of men and women standing over there that really did a great job of checking everything. They checked cameras, they checked people's statements, witnesses. They did a really good job. And they come up with a suspect yesterday. And it was one of our deputies that actually set the fire. It was a deputy with the Spartanburg County Detention Center by the name of Dylan Ellis. We knew that this was a conflict of interest, so we immediately called SLED. SLED came in. He showed up for his shift last night, and we pulled him out of they pulled him out of roll call and brought him to the sheriff's office and did an interview where he ultimately confessed to this crime. And you know, I'd like to thank the guys and girls over there that really did a great job. Stephen Peters and Nate Cantrell and Garrett Cash. They worked on this pretty relentless to find out who had destroyed this family's home and almost killed 4 people. You know, I thought about this a lot yesterday, and I did a lot of checking. We do a very intensive background check on folks that we potentially are going to hire. We do psychological examinations by a professional, and we do polygraphs. And a lot of times we catch things that we're not going to give people a gun and a badge because they have a past that they admit either during the polygraph examination or the psychological. There was nothing to indicate that this young man had the potential to do anything like this. I happen to actually know some of his family, and they're hurt and don't understand either. I'm not trying to make light of this by no means, but you know, this is what happened, and he was arrested and charged last night with 4 counts of attempted murder and arson. And he was booked into the Cherokee County Jail because his shift was actually working at the detention center last night, and I didn't feel like it was a good idea to put him over there with his colleagues. So the victim's family, all I can say is I'm really sorry. I talked to the owner of the home last night and told him that I was sorry and sad and upset, and he said, it's not your fault or anybody's fault, it's his fault. But there was no indication anywhere that, you know, we couldn't see into the future to know that he was going to do this. It appears that this is over an ex-girlfriend, and this didn't even, what's strange about it, the girlfriend didn't even live at that home. So I don't know, I don't have any idea, no guesses of why this happened, but it did, and we wanted to bring this to your attention to let you know that we do police ourselves and we do the right things. You know, these are tough, I don't mind telling you. So I'd ask for prayers for the victims of the fire, obviously, and even for Dylan. He's done something that's really messed his life up forever, and his family as well. So if you would continue to pray for those people, and I'll try to answer questions if I can. I'm going to allow the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division to release the warrants and those kind of things. So that's why the delay in the paperwork. Yes, sir.
Sheriff, you said it had to do with an ex-girlfriend who didn't even live there. Was this her family or
it was?
What
Yes, it was some type of family members, but I don't know the connection. I really don't know.
Can you remind us some of the details of the arson itself, how it started, and when this happened, and so forth?
Yeah, it was on the 23rd at 4 a.m. now, not 4 o'clock in the afternoon when everybody was gone. At 4 a.m. while everybody was there. The smoke detectors actually saved his family's life, and by the grace of God, obviously. So please, you know, if you take nothing out of this, go check your smoke detectors. You know, things happen. So yeah, he started the fire, and yeah, I mean, I'm having a hard time trying to understand why this is even acceptable. You know, and it's not. I'm going to let you know it's not. And I never like to bring bad news for anybody's family, but much less of somebody that we put a uniform on and trusted to do the right thing. And he had a very, very bad lapse in judgment, that's all I can tell you.
And how are those,
excuse me.
how are those 4 doing? Do you know their ages? Were there any kids
Yeah, there was a 9-year-old, a 15-year-old, an elderly grandmother who was past 60, and the mother was there, and I don't know her age, and she probably wouldn't want me to tell you anyway. So, but there were 4 innocent victims in this home, and you know, I'm really thankful that they got out and with no more than what happened. So.
Did you say age 9, 15, elderly grandmother, and then who was the other, the 4th?
The mother of the 2 children.
Mother of the 2 children.
Yeah.
Can you give us we're putting this on the web as well, a spelling of Mr. Ellis's name? Is it, when you say Dylan, is it?
Yeah, it is. I know it's Dylan.
Lan?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, here it is. Ellis. Dylan Bryce Ellis. Ellis.
That was on Bridgeville Church Road?
Yes, sir, it was.
Thank you, sir.
Here is the young man that did that.
How long had he worked?
1 year and 3 months, and I've looked at his file, and the only thing he's ever been addressed while he's been working is he had an incident where he pulled into a parking lot or a parking spot at the detention center and bumped another employee's car, and you know that was taken care of obviously. But you know, I looked through his all of his references. I looked through all of his, and like I said, the father that was out of town. I talked to him last night and told him, you know, I was really sorry about what happened, and we were going to try to help him in every way. So if you want to donate money to this family, please do so. I'll give you a way of, I don't know if there's a GoFundMe page set up. If not, I can give you some ways to help. I know you can give it to the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office Benevolence Fund, and just put fire victims, and we know who to give that to. I'm not really ready to release their names. I'm going to let SLED do that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is devastating to them, and certainly disturbing for us, because you know I expect more out of law enforcement. I expect that you don't do those kind of things, obviously. But again, I looked through all of our paperwork, and I looked through all of our process. I just don't feel like that we could have possibly known this was going to happen. You know, this is just nuts. I don't know what else to say. So, you had a question?
Yeah, as far as discovering that it was an arson, are there any details you could share with us about what led to that finding?
Well, Chief Caruso is a very experienced fire chief, and he immediately figured it out. So how he figured it out, I don't have a clue. I mean, this arson is very, investigation is very in-depth, and maybe he can explain that to you. Yes, sir.
Is there any motive at all? Can you comment on motive or reason?
The only thing that we know of is his ex-girlfriend's family. And my goodness. I mean, please don't take that I'm saying that this is okay when I say this, but I would almost understand if he damaged a car. You know, if he spoke bad of her on Facebook, something of that nature. That would make more sense. But burning a home down at 4 o'clock in the morning with 4 people inside, that's way out there. So.
I mean, it sounds like it's very in-depth what you do before you hire anybody here
It is.
at the Sheriff's Office. Is there anything though, I guess, you know, since you found this out, that you kind of stepped back and said, all right, maybe we do it, you know, make a change in our hiring process?
I don't see anything that we did or we failed to do. I'm using everything that is available to me, you know, and we're hiring people, not robots, you know, and, you know, this gentleman worked with us 1 year and 3 months, had no problems that we knew of, excuse me, during his employment time. He was on time for work, did a great job when he was here, very mild-mannered young man, reserved and quiet. You know, it's just a shock.
Was the house completely destroyed in the fire, or will the family be able to go?
Yeah, it's completely destroyed. I mean, there's no living in that home. So.
Are they okay health-wise?
Yes, they are. Thank you for asking that. They are, and please just pray for them, okay? But it happened on Ridgeville Church Road. There are a lot of people know him, and you know, I really didn't know what to say to the gentleman last night when I talked to him, except I'm sorry and I'm praying for your family. And he immediately said, "Boss, it's not your fault." I said, "I know that, but he represented me, and I don't put up with that mess." So I think I've answered everything that I'm allowed to answer. Maybe you have something else.
Just a detail. How old is he? Do we know?
Well, he was born in 1995.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's a millennial.
And sure, has anything like this happened in recent memory? I'm trying to, think since I've been here, but where somebody from your own department, has done something like this?
No, unfortunately, we had to fire some folks from the detention center several years back for mishandling a prisoner. We've had deputies here that has had domestic issues or drinking and driving, and we are real stringent with that stuff. We don't put up with it, tolerate it, don't cover it up, we just go do it. Go do what's right. And, I don't understand why some people's thinking is the way it is, but, again, I really can't say that we've done, and I can say, we've done nothing wrong to not catch it. I mean, had his friends told us, well, he likes to play with fire, I mean, that's a question we can start asking, but none of that was brought up in there. So, and I want you to know this too. There are lots of people who put in an application for the Sheriff's Department or Detention Center that never get past the polygraph or the psychological. They just don't. And when we see things that is a potential problem, we just tell them this job's not for you. Have a good day. Go do something else. Because I'm not gonna bend my standards lower for anyone. Just not gonna do it.
Sheriff, just for clarification, he was at the detention center, assigned there, employed by the sheriff's office. Do we call him a deputy or now a former deputy?
Yeah, he was a deputy. Their family. They're all deputies. They're just assigned to different units,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I didn't know if there was a different title for people in the detention
There
facility.
used to be, but we consider them our family because we certainly can't do our job without them, and they can't do their job without us. So it's a big family. They wear the same clothes we do, get issued the same weapons we do, those kind of things. So, yeah, he's a former officer. All right. Thank you very much for coming this morning.